Would I be the if I exposed my sister's affair to her husband? I, 30F, caught my sister, 40F, cheating on her husband, 49M, with a guy, 40M. I was shocked because my sister and her husband are the epitome for love that never dies. Literally. They have been together for 15 years and they still look so much in love, the way they treat each other. I felt anger and despair because I love Bill as a big brother and he has been there for my sister when she been her worst mentally. He was there taking care of her without ever once complaining. Now I found out I confronted her and she tried to deny it. I told her that she was pathetic and now she felt good about herself. After her husband nursed her back to health, she is paying him with cheating on him. I told her I was going to expose her and she was begging me and crying, telling me I didn't understand. Please don't hurt us, you will be hurting my husband more than you hurt me. After a few days she asked to meet me. She looked like she was crying the whole time. She told me that she has been keeping her husband's secret but she wanted to tell me and made me promise not to tell anyone. Her husband is impotent and he hasn't slept with her for the majority of their relationship. I didn't believe her, so she showed me all the texts and emails she had with her husband, her therapist and her diary. He hasn't touched her for almost 12 years. Her depression was because of it and her back to health was because of this new guy. She said that since she started sleeping with him she has been happier and by extension her marriage and husband have been happier. I asked her why she doesn't just tell her husband. She said that she couldn't because she loves him and she couldn't hurt him. She is afraid he would be so lonely without her because he always said he had no one else in this world and he would die without her. Don't you see that we are all happy? Please don't hurt us. About the guy. She met him through work and actually he is kind of a famous entrepreneur in our city. She showed me texts etc. He is also married but he has 3 children. He has the same problem with his sexless marriage. Yesterday she asked me to meet her. She was with him, the audacity. She looked totally broken and he looked smug and angry and he didn't even want to look at me. She asked me to think of all the people that would be hurt if this came out and she said that they will end their affair and promise to never do it again. He got upset and said, or we could just tell everyone and stop hiding. She got angry and told him to shut up. I don't know what to do. She said that she kept her husband's secret because he is embarrassed and he is very possessive and jealous. I have noticed he is the jealous type, so he didn't agree to open marriage. She swore it was over with this other guy too and showed me texts where they had huge fight because he actually thinks I should tell her husband so they could be together, but I don't know. He has given her a Cartier love ring that she still has, and when I confronted her she said she couldn't throw an expensive ring but she will donate it. She wears it in a chain underneath her clothes. I'm sorry this is getting long but I wanted to include all details. Hope you can give me an honest judgment. Would I be the asshole if I told my sister's husband? I think this whole thing is wrong and the cheated parties need to know the truth, but it will hurt BL. Update 1. Would I be the if I exposed my sister's affair to her husband? I just want to come here and update everyone that I have told my BL about the affair. I have read all your comments and thank you very much for the insight. I had to do what would make me sleep at night. I love my sister but she must have known that I couldn't just live with the guilt. I have been cheated on by someone I loved and I know how shitty and selfish you must be to cheat. I also know that if I could do it again, would want to know this time too because while the pain was enormous, I still feel lucky now that I found out. My sister has called me like 20 times but I didn't answer. She texted me, "Do you feel better right now? How could you do this to me? I loved you, you ruined my life." I didn't answer her. I wanted to answer her that she was the one who ruined her life but I didn't answer her. My parents are shocked and angry but not with me. BL called and told them everything and he talked about plans that maybe my sister and he will move back to his hometown. He is devastated and broken. I hope they can move on from this together or separately, it doesn't matter. But that they move on and find real happiness and not at the cost of other people like it is now. Update 2. would I be the if I exposed my sister's affair to her husband? Hi guys. Still getting a lot of messages about an update about my sister and her situation. I thank you for being so sympathetic and worried about my sister. I might have painted my brother-in-law to be abusive to my sister, and I regret that. I just wanted to be as transparent as I could because they're not here to tell their side of the story, so I was trying to do my best to take in my sister's and her husband's POV. They are fine. My brother-in-law is very hurt and destroyed, but he assured me that he wasn't angry with me and that I did the right thing. Truth hurts sometimes is what he said. He's planning on taking a break from his work and maybe go back home for a while. My sister is fine and not hurt. She doesn't talk to me and I get that, but she is not harmed in any way more than her heart, but let's face it, it was of her own doing, and I think she knows that because that's what she told my parents. Her husband has suggested that they moved back to his hometown because I don't think he can trust her staying in the same city as her lover, and as he said, he can't follow and spy on her all his life, but he is willing to forgive her because he loves her. My parents are very angry with my sister. They are not angry with me, however. The only thing they thought I could have done right differently is that I should have told them before I told my brother-in-law, because then they would have their own way to make my sister admit what she's done to her husband. At least it would have come from her. As her lover, I don't know he's married, as I said in my previous post. I don't have the details, but I know that my brother-in-law has texted him and told him to keep away from his wife. I have been on both his and his wife's Instagram accounts, and it seems like the wife knows now. I don't know if she will take him back or no. 5. The way he acted on our meeting, he didn't seem to care either way. Boy, I hope he doesn't have a prenup, and she takes him for all he got. That's all I have for today. I won't be making these frequent updates. If anything of significance happens, we'll be updating in the future, but right now I'm logging off. Thank you for listening, and thank you all who supporting me. I know what I did wasn't the nicest or the kindest to my most beloved sister, but I had to do what I believe to be right, and you don't have to do with me. Update 3, would I be the if I exposed my sister's affair to her husband? Hi, I'm still getting some of you DMing me about news. I wasn't planning to update because I know that I'm not well liked here. This update will only be about facts since I no longer understand what's going on. Everything is gray and I can't for sure see black and white. For me, infidelity is black and always will be. I, however, will update what happened without my own opinion. My sister and her husband decided to work on their marriage, and they even moved back to her husband's hometown. They were living with his parents until they find a new place. From what I understood, my sister refuses to talk to me. My brother-in-law HD made demands that she left her job. She met her affair through work. That is all I knew. My parents kept contact with my sister and her husband, but she refused to talk to them too, until last night when her husband called and said that my sister had run away. She left her phone behind and all her belongings and ran away in the middle of the night. My parents are frenetic. My sister had just talked to my mom for the first time since they moved less than 2 weeks ago, and according to mom, she sounded fine and was talking about the new adjustments to a small town. BL said that they had been fighting about her not wanting to stop working these past weeks. He went to bed yesterday and then woke up a couple of hours later and she was gone without even a note. This morning I felt I had to do something, so I contacted the AP. He sent me a threatening DM saying that he and my sister will contact the police if we don't leave them alone. I know where he lives, at least what complex, and probably my sister is there too. I asked to talk to my sister, but he again said if any of us tried to contact her they will contact the police. So I guess she has left her husband now. My parents are freaking out and BIL is living with them now until he can get in touch with my sister.